We're going to pose a terrifying query to you today. What if the sun abruptly vanished one day? You open your eyes. There is nothing but a chilly black hole in the sky when one expects the morning brightness. The sun's reassuring brightness is gone. The sun, which has supported life on Earth for billions of years, is no longer there. What would Earth look like if the sun didn't exist? How much longer could people live without the sun? Together, let's enter this terrifying situation and learn how a world without the sun would bring about our terrible demise. First of all, our main source of light would be completely lost if the sun disappeared. But since it takes around 8 minutes for sunlight to reach Earth, we wouldn't be thrust into complete darkness right once. Thus, for 8 minutes following the sun's disappearance, everything would look as usual. However, after that short time, the Earth would start to cool down and the entire planet would be instantly covered in a pitch-black darkness. Temperatures would fall below freezing by the end of the first day and then plunge to about minus 17 degrees Celsius in a few of days. In addition to the cold, this deterioration carries with it harsher living circumstances. It would get harder and harder every day to survive on Earth without the sun. In addition to providing light, the sun's powerful gravitational pull holds the planets in orbit. Earth and the other planets would be left adrift if the sun abruptly vanished. Because of its velocity, our planet would initially continue on its course, but without the sun's gravitational pull, it would progressively become unstable. Earth would start to hurtle out in an unknowable direction after escaping its orbit. This would entail a bleak and frigid voyage for our planet. Earth would get colder every second as it drifted across the empty space without any heat or light. For mankind and all other living things, this lonesome voyage across the cosmos would be the start of a brutal fight for survival in the absence of the sun. Nature would be directly and catastrophically affected if the sun disappeared. The ability of plants to perform photosynthesis, which is essential to their survival, would be lost. The atmosphere's oxygen content starts to quickly decline when photosynthesis stops producing oxygen. The entire ecology is at danger as a result of this enormous issue. Many plant species that rely on photosynthesis would begin to rapidly disappear in a matter of weeks. The animals that depend on plants for sustenance also face difficulties in surviving and rapidly deteriorate as a result of the plant's decline. This wave of extinction would include tiny herbivores, insects that consume plants, and the carnivores that hunt them. Mammals, fish, birds, even humans who are at the top of the food chain would be in serious danger of dying as the environment collapses. Our life-giving nature would plunge into a deadly quiet as the natural equilibrium would be upset. Without the sun, people would be scrambling to find a means to live. Temporary fixes like indoor farming, artificial heating systems, and subterranean bunkers would be created by scientists. Although these precautions would initially keep people safe, they would not be enough over time because of the limited generation of oxygen and energy supplies. These solutions would become unsustainable when the supply of food, water, and energy diminishes. Furthermore, people's mental health would suffer if they lived in a gloomy and frigid environment. People would experience more psychological problems and a deep sense of pessimism as a result of the absence of daylight. Finding another planet would eventually be humanity's last chance. It would become inescapable that life would have to leave Earth in search of a new home. A sunless Earth might encourage us to look for extraterrestrial life, but it's quite difficult to settle on a new world. Even though worlds like Mars might become viable, life is difficult to sustain due to factors including low oxygen levels, scarce water supplies, and extremely high temperatures. Humanity would need to create new technology and life support systems in order to get over these challenges. Until we discover a planet that is livable, we might need to go through a stage of technological development when we build temporary dwellings. This voyage would include creating sustainable energy systems, creating subterranean dwellings on Mars, and creating biotechnology solutions for oxygen generation. Humanity could have to discover a completely other way of life in the absence of the sun. Yes, Earth and mankind would undoubtedly cease without the sun, Who would choose to live in a world without the sun, even with this terrifying conclusion? So, what would you do in such a situation? In order to survive, what would you be prepared to risk? Let's continue to push the boundaries of our imagination in our What If series. Let us know what you think in the comments below.